On parade to your left is 23 Platoon, commanded by Lieutenant Jason Mitchell. The platoon sergeant is Sergeant Nathan Carson. The section commanders are Corporal William Pickard, Corporal Wiley Frawley, Corporal Reese Ward, and Corporal David Ross. On parade to your right is 24 Platoon, commanded by Lieutenant Callum Press. The platoon sergeant is Sergeant Mitchell Webster. The section commanders are Corporal Samantha MacArthur, Corporal Hayden Miller, Corporal Kieran Morrissey, and Bombardier William Morris Wilson. The company sergeant major will now hand over to the parade commander, Captain Jonathan Friend, who will then order the officers onto parade. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are able, please stand while the Governor-General's banner is marched on parade. Gentlemen are requested to remove hats, and service personnel in uniform should only salute when the banner ensign gives the order to present arms, and the band plays the musical salute point of war.
And on the banner! Parade! Annual salute! Raise and arms!
Butterfly team, fly the centre! Hey! Better escorts, bring and hunt!
Parade! Eight and up! Parade and up! Hey!
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. The banner ensign for today's parade is Lieutenant Matthew Wedding. The banner escorts are Sergeant Jay Wern and Sergeant David Ulrich.
Parade! Eight and up!
The reviewing officer, Commander Aviation Command, Major General Stephen Jobson, AM, CSC, is now arriving on parade. The reviewing officer is hosted by Officer Commanding Charlie Company, Captain Benjamin Blundell.
Parade! Annual salute! Raise and up! Parade! Eight and up!
The parade commander will now invite the reviewing officer to inspect the parade and band. The custom of inspecting the troops dates back to the mid-1600s, in the time of King Charles II. Its original purpose was to allow the inspecting officer to closely scrutinise each soldier's face and confirm their allegiance, but also to be ready for an attempt on his life. Today, the custom continues to confirm the readiness and state of discipline of a unit. The reviewing officer will now inspect the band. At full capacity, the Australian Army Band Kapooka consists of 26 professional soldier musicians whose versatility allows them to perform in a number of different configurations, including full band, big band, rock band, jazz group, various acoustic and instrumental ensembles, and, of course, the marching band you see before you today. The band has had a continuous presence at Kapooka since 1951 and proudly supports the Riverina region, as well as having the honour to assist in welcoming each and every one of Army's newest soldiers as they march out of recruit training. Today, the band is led by Officer Commanding Music Director Major Greg Peterson and Drum Major Sergeant Adrian Malloy. The parade will shortly march past in quick time. You are requested to stand when the Governor-General's banner passes to your immediate front. Gentlemen are requested to remove hats, and service personnel in uniform are to salute when the banner passes to your direct front. Please be seated once the banner has been marched past.
Turn to the right in columns of three. Right! Right will march past in quick time. 23 platoon leading. Right, by your left, and by the centre. Right!
The parade will shortly advance in review order. The significance of this manoeuvre dates back to 18th century British regiments and was designed to combat the tactical moves of an enemy both in attack and defence. This old battlefield manoeuvre was conducted with the colours of the front and centre, where the commander was also located. All dressing was taken from the colours, and the manoeuvre was always carried out with 2 or more ranks. In our modern ceremony, the parade will advance in review order by marching forward 15 paces at the open order. To mark the end of the manoeuvre, a general salute in the form of a present arms will be conducted.
Parade will advance in review order. Parade on the centre. Parade! Parade, general salute, please. And
Trophies will now be awarded to the best at physical training, the most proficient with weapons, and the Baird VCMG Trophy for the most outstanding soldier in each platoon.
Trophy winners! Up! Oh! Out!
The winner of the Physical Proficiency Trophy for the best at physical training in 23 Platoon is Private Ethan Piotner, Royal Australian Infantry Corps.
Sir!
The winner of the Skillet Arms Trophy for weapons proficiency in 23 Platoon is Private Bjorn Weston, Australian Army Intelligence Corps. The winner of the Stuart Geddes Memorial Trophy for weapons proficiency in 24 Platoon is Signaller Dominic Stewart, Royal Australian Corps of Signals.
Sir!
Stuart Geddes attended the recruit course in June 1986 as a member of 24 Platoon. Unfortunately, Stewart fell ill during the later stages of the recruit course and passed away in hospital. By this time, Stewart had achieved enough points on the shooting range to qualify for Best Shot. The Most Outstanding Soldier Trophy is awarded to the recruit who has achieved above average results in all aspects of recruit training and has demonstrated beyond reproach the qualities of loyalty, teamwork, integrity, honour and dedication to duty. This award was named for Corporal Cameron Baird, VCMG, who marched out of Kapooka on the 18th of February 2000 and was recognised as the most outstanding soldier of his platoon, having achieved all the recruit course competencies to an excellent standard. the Baird VCMG Trophy for the most outstanding soldier in 23 Platoon is awarded to Private Christos Solakis, Australian Army Intelligence Corps. The Baird VCMG Trophy for the most outstanding soldier in 24 Platoon is awarded to Private Connor McCulloch, Australian Army Intelligence Corps. Private McCulloch is also the recipient of 24 Platoon's Physical Proficiency Trophy for Best at Physical Training. In 2007, Corporal, then Lance Corporal Baird, was awarded the Medal for Gallantry whilst in action during close-quarter combat in Afghanistan on Operation Slipper. In 2014, for his actions on the 22nd of June 2013 during Operation Slipper, he was posthumously awarded the Victoria Cross for Australia for the most conspicuous acts of valour, extreme devotion to duty, and ultimate self-sacrifice. Throughout his career, Corporal Cameron Baird, VCMG, displayed qualities of the highest order and were in keeping with the finest traditions of the Australian Army and the Australian Defence Force. The Wagga Legacy Shield is awarded to the section that achieves the highest score during the recruit's final field exercise. The champion section and winner of the Wagga Legacy Shield is 3 Section, 24 Platoon. The section commander, Corporal Samantha MacArthur, will accept this award on behalf of 3 Section. Today, the Legacy Shield is being presented by the President of Wagga Legacy, Mr. Doug Cumpy. In 1923, Legacy made a promise to help veterans' families carry on with their lives after the loss or injury of their loved ones. Today, Legacy supports 40,000 partners and children of veterans who gave their lives or health serving our country. The reviewing officer will now address the parade.
Ladies and gentlemen, look at your soldiers, resplendent in their slouch hats and their rising sun badge. Their drill has been outstanding today. Give them a massive round of applause. Soldiers of 23 and 24 platoons, staff of the 1st Recruit Training Battalion, distinguished guests, families, friends and loved ones of our soldiers on parade today. It's such a great honour and a privilege for me to review the March Out Parade of Australia's newest soldiers. It's an important occasion for all concerned, and I extend a warm welcome to parents, to relatives and friends and loved ones, many of whom have travelled significant distances to be with us. Thank you for the tremendous support over these last few months, and I thank you for trusting to us into the Australian Army your most precious possession. We can only build on the qualities and the character that you have given me. Thank you for your trust, support and faith in the Army as a great national institution, one that turns young men and women into soldiers. I hope you like what we've done with it. The transformation does not happen by accident. During the 63 days, these soldiers have been trained, led, nurtured and encouraged by the staff of the 1st Recruit Training Battalion, dedicated to ensuring their success. The staff are the very best Army has available. Some of them are veterans of our recent conflicts, and they know only too well the challenges that lay ahead for our newest soldiers. The NCOs and the officers before you have insisted on rigorous standards are maintained, as they know one day their own lives may be in the hands of those they train. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, please join me in thanking the staff of the 1st Recruit Training Battalion. It would also be remiss of me not to acknowledge the Australian Army Band, Kapooka. Your performance not only today, but all of the occasions when you represent the finest traditions of the Army is greatly admired and appreciated. You bring lustre and colour to events like this. You bring respect and honour and you dignify this occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in thanking the Australian Army Band Kapooka. But today belongs to our soldiers on parade. Let me focus on you. I want to congratulate the prize winners on their achievements, but today is not about individuals, it's about the team. And in this regard, you are all winners. You have all achieved a great deal since you arrived here. Some of you have made significant personal sacrifices to become a soldier, but it's worth it. You've demonstrated your commitment to a demanding career and a unique way of life. This is not a 9-to-5 job. You were told at the outset that the transformation from civilian to soldier was not easy, but it was achievable. And here you are, marching out from the home of the soldier. I know I speak for everybody watching the parade in saying that your performance here today should be a source of great pride to you, to your friends and families and loved ones, and to everybody associated with the 1st Recruit Training Battalion. Hey, once again, let everybody congratulate you on this achievement and your overall excellent parade standard. Well done. Today marks a milestone for me as I near retirement from the Army after 36 years. My service has extended from humanitarian assistance and disaster relief in many Australian communities, as well as overseas in places like Papua New Guinea and Pakistan. I've been privileged to serve within our counter-terrorism forces, as well as in peacekeeping operations around the world. And of course, I've deployed on combat operations to Afghanistan in the global war on terror. In each of these scenarios, I have been immensely grateful to serve with outstanding Australian soldiers of many corps, ranks and trades. In every one of these callings, they have focused with unwavering commitment and diligence towards the mission set for them and served our nation with honour. In my deployments, they never let us down. In all cases, our success has never been a result of large-scale mass, extraordinary technology or unlimited firepower. Instead, it has been the values and the behaviours consistently shown by our soldiers under any circumstance, no matter how boring or mundane or complex or dangerous. These values include service, courage, respect, integrity, and excellence. Wherever I have been, our soldiers have stood solid for our country, their mates, and the Australian Army. I am proud to have served with them, just as I am proud of you today. I can assure you that those same values that sustained those soldiers of my operations and campaigns will sustain you in yours. So my key message to you today is to hold on to the values that you've been taught here at Kapooka and be a values-based soldier in a values-based army. Soldiers of 23 and 24 Platoon, the final thought is that you are now in a position to leave your legacy. You are now a part of Australia's great national institution, its army. This is your career's first milestone, and you well and truly deserve the celebrations of today. While you all came from different backgrounds, today you share a common bond. You have all earned the right to serve with honour in the Australian Army. To you, our newest soldiers, good luck and good soldier. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are able, please stand for the playing of the national anthem. Gentlemen are requested to remove hats, and service personnel in uniform are to salute.
Right, face, and out!
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. The reviewing officer will now depart the parade.
Right, and a salute! Raise and
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are able, please stand and remain standing as the Governor-General's banner is marched off the parade. Gentlemen are requested to remove hats, and service personnel in uniform should only salute when the parade commander gives the order to present arms and the band plays the musical salute, point of war.
March off the banner! Parade! General salute! AEST! Arms!
Better escort a hand. Gun. Better party by the centre. Hey!
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. The parade commander will now call out the officers. The parade commander will hand the parade over to the company sergeant major, who will march the soldiers off parade. It is requested that you please remain within the seating enclosures until after the band has left the parade ground.
A time!
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the march-out parade of 23 and 24 platoons. The soldiers will meet you at the Edmonton BC Club, where they will remain for approximately 30 minutes. Once the soldiers are back under the command of their platoon staff, there are a number of tasks to be completed.